Hey, everybody. It's me, Jake, from Jakin.off. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. This week, I am joined by a very special guest, Carlos Chamon, everyone. Let him hear it. Carlos is a very funny comedian based here in Kansas City, and you can follow him on Instagram at Just Carlos Chamon, Chamon, Just Carlos Chamon. He also makes a little bit of music that you should check out. You can find that on Instagram at Carlos Sometimes. So check out his stuff. Carlos is very funny. And of course, you can find the podcast on social media at jakin.off.podcast. And, you know, you can send anything at all to jakin.off.podcast at gmail.com. I'll look at least one time. So that's my promise. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning into another episode, guys, and enjoy the episode. Have a good listen to the episode.
And he's already suffering enough, you know. And well, I don't know if we end up doing something about it, maybe.
Dude, did you see the Ben Shapiro rap song?
I only saw his verse, and that was sufficient.
Do you know? So you know the guy that he like is in the song with at all?
He's like a Canadian guy, right?
Dude. So yeah. So it's actually it's kind of annoying. Like he's a Canadian guy who is like he profits heavily off of like the
grift.
In like, you know, just like political polarization in America, like and being like, I'm the right wing voice in rap, which like there's a million of those guys.
Right, yeah.
But like, you know, he's like, I'm the one. He is really popular. He is probably the most popular because his music has like high production value.
Sure.
High production quality, and like, you know, he is, you know, crafted an image and stuff like that. But ultimately, like, you know, it's just like this rich kid with like his rich daddy's money, like he's cosplaying a rapper,
right? Yeah, basically,
like it's like he, because you know he's got like the fucking braids and the face tattoos and stuff, and it's like, you're Canadian and rich, dude.
That's what like, fucking blows my mind, is knowing that it's the fucking, how do you as an audience member accept that sort of nationalism from someone who isn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it isn't even the nationality, it's like this guy couldn't even vote for Trump if he wanted to.
Right.
Like,
and it's like, if he's
know?
Canadian and he's not talking about Canada that way, he's kind of like, not to throw big words around, but he's kind of a traitor. So you're okay with a traitor from another country to swing over to your side? Come on.
And it's like, it's just one of those things where, you know, I think that it proves now, like, that sort of like the person, it doesn't even matter like who's saying it anymore. It's just like whatever the message is like the most important thing. And
no,
it's like, hold on, guys.
As long as it affirms what you think, that's good enough.
Yes. And I think that definitely cuts both ways, of course.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not just like a right-wing thing, but I do, like, obviously it's easier for me to see when it's like right-wing stuff, because I'm like, I don't necessarily believe that. But I did think that we should probably just take a little listen.
No, dude, absolutely.
To Ben Shapiro's new song. With the rapper, his name is Tom McDonald. And the song is called Facts, featuring Ben Shapiro. So here we go. Hey kids, check out this.
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole friggin' world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right. I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope, it's pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive. But you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it. Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow. This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was born to upset.
So we should say that at this point in the video, yeah, that was Tom McDonald, obviously. That's not Ben Shapiro rapping. But Ben Shapiro is standing, like, sort of like with Tom McDonald. He's not vibing. Like, Tom McDonald is vibing to the music. Ben Shapiro clearly hates what's happening, dude. Like, he does not
He doesn't understand, I don't think. He's just like, what? Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
With it fucking the dare-ass hoodie that just says facts.
It says facts on it. It's like an oversized, like, streetwear sort of hoodie, but it's like Ben Shapiro's so small, that's probably like a large or something like that. He's just a tiny little man. And he's standing next to Tom McDonald in this big-ass hoodie, and he looks upset, dude. Like, he does not look happy to be there.
I don't think he understands really what the context is, dude.
Yeah, I think that they're just like, come on, dude. They're like, Ben Shapiro's like handlers. Like, the Koch brothers called Ben Shapiro, and they're like, look, we need you to put on a hoodie.
Just read these words on this screen.
They're like, we know you've tweeted for years about how rap music isn't actually music, but we're going to need you to completely debase yourself.
Yeah.
For the cause, Ben. It's for the cause. But yeah, here Ben Shapiro's verse, I think, is coming up here pretty shortly.
You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets, you defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you, I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do? Let's just keep it real, facts, don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect.
Let's look at the stats, I've got the facts, my money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic, don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You going to prison, I'm on television. Dog, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people, download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna.
If you told me that was an AI replication of Ben Shapiro rapping, I would believe you. You know,
it does. It sounds like somebody AI'd Ben Shapiro, but he always sounds like AI, dude. That guy never doesn't sound like a computer.
I think Ben Shapiro's a psyop. I don't think he exists. He's been a fucking fake this whole time.
People were joking around though. They're like, Ben Shapiro is the first person to rap slower than he talks, something like that. I was like, that's so funny.
That's so fucking.
Because it is true, dude. I always feel like I'm like, this guy's on 2x speed when he talks.
Yeah.
But he raps way slower, and it's so dumb.
It's like,
dude.
now you want us to actually hear what you're saying, dude.
Yeah.
And also, like, the word choice, it's very like, hey, fellow kids, like, who says epic on a rap song in the year of our Lord 2024? You know, fucking.
Dude. Well, Ben Shapiro. I mean, it's so cringeworthy. I can't imagine if I liked Ben Shapiro, if I like, I'm trying to like put myself in the headspace of like, I'm a fan of Ben Shapiro. Like I'm trying to think of like, it's like somebody like my, like, I don't know if my dad listens to Ben Shapiro, but I just,
but
like just some guy who like listens to the same radio station that his show is on. And then you like turn on the like your computer one day, and you're like, "Oh, he's in a song."
Yeah.
And then you watch this. Like, I feel like there's no way that you could continue to hold respect for him.
Or you fucking, because the concept of faith inherently is about moving goalposts. You just move the goalposts. You're like, oh, I do actually like rap as long as it's not the uppity ones or whatever. Fucking.
Which is so funny. So the other thing that I think is really ironic about this song and sort of the message that this guy is pushing, and he pushes it in his other music too, is like this idea where he's like, rappers want to like, make your daughters hoes and like your sons like gang members and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, that is like acting as if it's like rappers are the people who want to do that. It's like, how about like music executives?
Yeah, or like yourself, right?
Yeah,
fucking,
like
you're part of the club.
Like, and so it's funny to me to like, because that's what Ben Shapiro does too. Is he places the blame squarely like on these people who get pushed into the mainstream with because they do maybe push like a certain narrative that people know is gonna sell records
for
and
sure
that kids think are cool, like. But they never want to put the blame on like the actual like institutions.
Oh, sure.
That are like making this like, that's why it is how it is.
For
dude.
sure.
It's not just like that fucking, like, 21 Savage didn't like wake up one day and be like, I'm gonna like change rap. It's like, no, he did the same thing that everybody else did.
Exactly.
Because you get paid.
No, absolutely. No. And it's fucking crazy to think too, because it's like everything exists within the context of the industry as well. So it's like, where it's coming from,
Yeah.
Fucking.
I mean, I think that this guy is like, I don't think that he's like necessarily like an industry plant in the sense that like they, like some like powers that be were like, we got to get this guy in the rap industry. I think it's more just like a situation where it's like this little rich kid.
It was an opportunity.
Yeah, this rich Canadian kid was like, had his daddy's money and wanted to be a rapper and was like, how do I do it?
Yeah.
I'm not from the streets. I can't rap about,
he's
gang banging or whatever.
Thing,
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I can't rap about being a gang member or whatever. I guess I'll rap about being like, do what you know. They say write what you know, dude. He's like, I guess I'm gonna rap about being conservative.
And it's like, but it's so derivative too.
Yes.
Like we've heard all that shit, man.
Yeah,
like
dude.
how we should have a drinking for how many times you hear like my pronouns are fucking blank blank.
It's like, we get it, dude. You fucking,
like you just discovered grammar.
Yeah.
and how fluid it can be.
You're closed-minded. It's such a weird flex. It's like the weirdest shit to flex about, to be like, I've never changed.
Yeah.
I've never looked at things with a different perspective. It's like, okay,
I had it right from the beginning, dog.
Yeah, it was like, my dad was right about everything.
I would love to force anyone who firmly believes shit that's like, oh, I've been right. It's like, so you tell me your dad was right about everything?
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
put that, say it with your chest.
My parents never did anything wrong. They were perfect. I'm perfect. Dude, okay, so we were talking something about chain smoking. This Chinese guy ran a marathon. He was disqualified because he was chain smoking the entire time.
What?
Dude, and he ran a good time, too. He's like 52 years old. So
I feel like that's the opposite. You should award.
Yeah, he should get like a special medal.
He did it with like an extra handicap, That at least deserves some merit.
Dude, yeah, so it was the Xiamen Marathon, and he finished with a time of 3 hours and 33 minutes.
What's
the
average time,
26.2 miles average marathon time?
Just for context, because I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Average marathon time by age. Let's see this. By age and ability.
That's fair.
All right. A good marathon time is 3 hours and 48 minutes.
And this guy did 3 hours and how much?
Yeah. He did it in 3 hours and 33 minutes.
Dude, so comparable while chain smoking.
Less. Yeah, it's actually like under. It's like 15 minutes less than a good marathon time.
Dude,
according to this website.
See, no, that's why they had to fucking get rid of him.
He's 52, dude. He's 52. He's 52 and he chain smoked the entire time.
That's Big Lung trying to shut down these voices of the powerful.
It's funny. What was funny to me about this is like they did because they were like, you're not allowed to do that. But what was cracking me up about it is like in their rules, it actually has something. It's like almost like they foresaw this. They're like, somebody's going to try to smoke because it specifically says. Yeah, it says uncivilized behavior from runners such as open defecation, smoking, or trampling on flower beds or green spaces that affect the race and safety of other runners will result in disqualification. So they were like, we know that somebody's going to take a shit and smoke a cigarette at some point, and we got to make sure that we can punish them.
Wasn't there like an article years ago of a lady who ran a marathon and she shit herself and then she finished it, but everyone heralded her as a hero?
People do that all the time.
Yeah.
Marathon runners shit and piss in their pants all the time, dude.
Yeah, now I get it. If you ran for 3 hours, I'm not going to let that shit stop me, dude.
A lot of people would actually say that running a marathon is just an excuse to shit your pants.
That's if you have a public defecation fetish, it's the most acceptable avenue.
That's what some people who are maybe a little bit better at critical thinking would say, that maybe actually running a marathon is just an excuse for grown adults to shit and piss in their pants.
Yeah, and we've all earned it, you know? We've earned it.
Dude, it is funny, though, because, you know, smoking in, like, some instances, or, like, in some ways in China, like there are like cigarettes that are called like basically that like imply that like they'll make you live longer and stuff.
What? That's
yeah, like packs of cigarettes. Like they're called like lifelong cigarettes or something like that.
Like a diet
like,
cig.
Yeah, and they literally have like the like this Chinese symbol for like long life
FDA is
or whatever. No, for long life. Like the Chinese like symbol for long life is like the logo of the cigarettes.
That's fucking incredible.
Yeah, and so it's like, to me, I feel like this guy is out there
proving it.
This is science.
Yeah. I mean, objectively speaking, yes, and also from a market standpoint, this is your Jared Fogle.
I love this. I love this picture of him lighting the cigarette while he's like running. He's straight up just like, he's like fucking. All right, I gotta make sure I smoke another one. But
also, to think how hard it would be to light up a cigarette while running, having the fucking wind, dude. So that's extra merit.
You're like breathing heavy. Yeah. Like, I can't, dude. I bet he felt like shit the next day. There's no way that he didn't feel like absolute shit.
If he did it like this, I feel like this is because he can't stop. So I bet this is just fucking. How'd he celebrate the marathon by chain smoking in his way home? You know.
He's like, I'm just trying to push my body to its limits in every conceivable way.
It's like those men that only eat like steak and eggs. And he's like, I only do cigs. That's it.
Dude, I just thought it's so crazy that he ran such a good time, and I do think it's kind of fucked up. It's like, let the man. Give the man give the guy an award.
Yeah, the boring side of me is like, well, you can't be encouraging that, but the other part of me is like, this guy is a fucking hero and deserves to be commended.
He goes by Uncle Chin. Uncle Chin's it made him go viral. So that was like obviously like his goal.
Yeah, no, I love it because of course this man is an uncle. He does not have children. This is fucking
dude. No, only uncles are chain smoking during
the marathons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Chin. You are a hero in our eyes.
Shout out Uncle Chin, dude. Thanks for doing it. Ron DeSantis ended his campaign.
Fucking incredible.
I called it.
Yeah.
I've been calling that for a while. I said it from the beginning. This guy doesn't have the juice because the story about him eating the pudding with his fingers came out.
That's true. That probably was the fucking beginning of the end. You can't recover from 3 fingers.
It was so clear. Like, the news reporting that came out immediately, they were like, I think Ron DeSantis is autistic. Like, that's pretty much immediately what happened. Like, there was the thing where he was like, oh, I can't remember, like, what the fuck. They were like talking to some kids about like, he's like talking to like some kids and he's like, what are you gonna like do? And he's like, I'm gonna get some candy. And he's like, candy? He's like, you're gonna get candy? He's like, that's disgusting. It's like, why are you saying that to a child? It's like this like weird shit, And of course there's like all this stuff about how he would like worked at Guantanamo Bay and like tortured people there and shit.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, that's
so
fucking
like, thank God this guy
I think that's what's incredible, the fact that like you could be like fucking horrible in Guantanamo Bay, but what will bring you down in this country is eating pudding with 3 fingers, dude.
That is so funny.
Better dead than the pussy, dude. That's what I say.
In his thing when he announced that he was suspending his campaign, he attributed a quote to Winston Churchill. And then the Winston Churchill Society or whatever, like the Churchill Legacy Society, was like, yeah, that's not a Winston Churchill
That's
quote.
not
He
him.
never said that.
Do we know who said the original quote?
No, it just is like made up. So the quote is, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. That doesn't even sound like something that Winston Churchill would have said.
No, absolutely
He's
not.
Like, failure is fine.
Yeah, Winston Churchill, renowned mediocre man, just fucking low standards.
He's like, oh, we're going to lose to the Nazis. Hey, we'll live to fight another day.
Oh, my God,
It's so hilarious, dude. This guy flubbed. Of course, there was like the whole thing, too, Which even Donald Trump started making fun of him for that, where people are like, I think he's wearing inserts in his boots to make himself taller.
Dude, absolutely, man. So which is fucking crazy because Donald Trump does the same thing too. Yes, so it's like both of these like slanted, like the Michael Jackson dance movie, you know?
Yeah, dude. They're like, so many people were like doing like internet sleuth sort of like depictions of like how his feet would look in the boots that he's wearing.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, they were like drawing like Microsoft Paint and stuff, dude. Yeah. Yes, dude.
Like the outlines of his shoes. But yeah, when I saw the news that he suspended his campaign, I was like so happy because that guy's such a fucking psycho. And now I don't even think that he can be governor of Florida.
No, that's what I was just thinking. Didn't he literally change the law to allow himself to run?
Maybe
and, like change it to such a way that I don't think he can go back now.
Yeah, maybe he can. I don't think that he can. I think that. I mean, who knows? Maybe he will still be able to or something.
I mean, yeah.
Because he ended his campaign, like, it's still really early. They only just did New Hampshire.
Yeah.
It's only been 2
But, I mean, everyone else is done, right? Right, besides Nikki Haley and Trump. Right, I think.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like, let's be honest. It was finished before it started.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we know who these people.
That's why, like, what Nikki Haley's doing is, I think, if I was like DeSantis, I would just commit to the bit at this point.
Just stay in.
Yeah, dude. Because, like, you were never gonna win, but at least you get to fucking throw your hand.
The whole thing about DeSantis is like the thing that was so stupid about his campaign from the beginning is like. It's like he was trying to run against Donald Trump, but not run against him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was trying to be like, I love him. He's like, I love Donald Trump, but you guys should pick me instead. And everybody's like, what, dude? They're like, what do you mean you love him, but we should pick you? They're like, get the fuck out of here.
It bites everyone's ass, dude. Everyone wants that Trump juice,
dude.
But you can't get it because it's all his.
And especially he looks so stupid. People were like replaying from the beginning. People were replaying the ads that he made when he ran for governor the first time. Which like when Ron DeSantis was running for governor of Florida the first time, he was getting his shit kicked in by the other Republican candidate in the primary. Okay. And then he like basically like begged Donald Trump to
he was like, Daddy Trump.
Yeah, dude, no, seriously, he begged him like to support his campaign, and that's what ended up winning him the governorship. And there were like ads that he made that were like him reading books, like children's books about Donald Trump to his kids. Like
that's
that were like
fucking incredible.
And so then they were just like replaying his own ads. And being like, look at this little
fucking loser, dude. Yeah, what? That's incredible.
And so it's like, it was so doomed from the beginning. I was surprised that he ran because I think that if he would have waited this election out and not ran, and then
maybe next time.
Gone in 2028, he would have had a way better chance of becoming president, which is like scary prospect, that guy being president, but I think he's done now.
Yeah, no, I think it's hard to recover from this shit. It's like how like Jeb Bush, I think he could have tried to run, but the police clap. No one, you can't recover from that.
Yeah,
dude. You're done.
No, it's like good riddance, dude. Nailing this guy's coffin. It seems like, at least, but he ended it all with a fake Winston Churchill quote. I don't think that there's a more poetic ending possible.
No, absolutely. That means, this guy was full of shit from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you're gonna end like shit. You're gonna start like shit for sure. Dude.
Pudding with his fingers.
I bet Trump has a cute little nickname for that, right? Like Pudding Santis or the Ron de Puddin.
They call him Ron DeSanctimonious. Or Ron DeSatan. One of them.
I'm just impressed that they know the word sanctimonious.
Yeah, dude. Another hilarious thing that they were having to do was like, because his last name, it's DeSantis, and it sounds foreign.
For sure.
And so, like, especially with the D lowercase e and then capital S, it's like, so they would, on all of his stuff, they would capitalize everything.
Oh, so it'd be like,
so that people would be like, oh, it's not
DeSantis, it's DeSantis.
Yeah, they're like, it'll make it sound less foreign.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Like, that's the level of like stuff that they have to think of. Or they're like, we don't we got to get these old people to vote for us. They'll never vote for him if they think he's Italian. They'll never do it.
Well, I mean, isn't Nikki Haley's last name like something a lot more ethnic sounding?
Her entire name is something completely different.
Yes, yeah.
She is a completely different name because she's Indian. Her family is like Indian.
That's crazy.
And so yeah, her name is like literally like the most Indian name that you've ever heard of.
She saw how it went for I don't even know the fucking what was the other guy who he also went terribly?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
She saw how it went for him, and she was like, "I don't want none of that shit, dude."
Yeah, they're like,
if your last name has more than 2 syllables, you're fucked in this country.
Yeah, let me see what her name is. Early life. Haley was born as Nimarata Nikki Randhawa in South Carolina, which honestly I feel like, you know, you're an Indian person growing up in South Carolina.
No, I
Back
get
in the
it.
day, I feel like, yeah, I'd go by Nikki too.
Yeah.
The kids in school in South Carolina were probably not very nice.
No, hell, man. When I used to work at a call center, sometimes I would just answer the phone as Carl because it was easier.
Really?
Yeah, because the minute people would be like, Carlos, where are you located? And I'd be like, in Kansas City. And then they'd be like, I don't believe you. And I'd be like, why would I lie about being in Kansas City, dude? Like,
there's not any Americans named Carlos.
Yeah, that's done, dude.
Carlos, let me tell you something. I've been living in this country a long time.
And not once.
Not once have I met a man named Carlos. Yeah, no, they all have to like change their names and stuff. Like if you are not a white guy, you have to like go by something different.
Ted Cruz, baby.
Yeah, if you're a white lady, you have to like shoot somebody for them to respect you. You have to like hold like a bunch of guns in your hand, like shoot them in the air.
Yeah, just fucking show how badass, or give someone a hand job at Beetlejuice.
Dude, well, that was like Lauren Boebert. Her whole thing was like, you know, obviously just like a grifter. I don't even think that she's running for Congress.
I thought she moved districts.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. She moved districts or whatever to like a more Republican district. But her she owned a restaurant where it's like you're allowed to open carry. They're like encourage it. They're like, because they're like, we want everybody to be safe.
Yeah.
And stuff. And but then her restaurant was like giving everybody food poisoning.
That's fucking incredible.
They're like feeding them like pork sliders, like these pork sliders that Lauren Boebert made.
In like a trough, just like eat it up, eat the slop.
Everybody just shitting their pants inside of her restaurant.
Which, as we all know, unless you're in a marathon, is not acceptable at all.
But she was like on like a sugar daddy website, which like no shame, dude. Like it's like whatever. Like I don't care.
No,
but
dude, that
I just think
is
it's
so
like
real.
I just think it's like weird to like go from that person to like who she is now.
No, dude,
what
I
the
totally
fuck
see it
happened?
from the beginning because it's like it's Ben Shapiro's the same way too because they start just trying to chase clout.
Yeah,
and that's why this is the easiest avenue for themselves to do it. Because Ben Shapiro was a failed screenwriter. That's like what got his start, you know. And then
that's true. I forgot about that, dude. I think with Lauren Boebert too, it's like one of those things where it's like it reminds me of. This is gonna be so stupid. You know the song "Fancy"?
Sure. Iggy Azalea. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the one by Reba McEntire. Or no, is it Reba McEntire? Who's the red-haired lady? The old country singer?
Reba?
He's a one chance fan, so don't let me down.
I don't think I know it.
Dude, it's the whole song is about like this it's by Reba McEntire. Yeah, it's by Reba McEntire. She's a old country singer, but basically the song is like a tale of this lady who like grows up in like this poor like family in the South, and like her mom basically is like, you are gonna have to like kind of like sell your body for money or whatever. And like the song is like the story of this lady like parlaying that into like becoming like a respectable member of society.
Sure.
And it kind of reminds me of Lauren Boebert a little bit. But like Lauren Boebert is not from nearly as like terrible conditions as Reba McEntire's song. Fancy, and the song is, that's the lady's name is Fancy. But she she clearly like went from like being like sort of like this trashy like white trash lady to like now in Congress, but then there's still, you can tell that there's still a little bit there.
It stays with you,
because she's getting like finger banged in a
the
theater
fucking
or
Beetlejuice,
whatever.
dude. Yeah, dude.
Beetlejuice the musical. She's like vaping in a movie theater or whatever the fuck. And they're like, all right.
No, dude, you can take the kid out of the fight, but not the fight out of the kid, man.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
The fight, of course, being getting figured at Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Hey, listen, some things don't change. Lauren Boebert's been getting fingered at Beetlejuice for a long time.
Ever since the movie came out, the first musical appearance, dude.
Time is a flat circle. And Lauren Boebert getting fingered, also
a flat circle.
Dude, well, there was this other story that I read. This pastor and his wife scammed all these people. They made a crypto scam. Like they made cryptocurrency called Index Coin, INDX Coin, and sold it to like a bunch of their Christian followers. Right. And it was a scam. Like, of course, it was a scam. And everybody was really upset. And they were like, why'd you do that? And he was like, God. Dude. He's like, God told me.
That is my every time, dude. It gets me every time. They'll be like, dude, you like murder your whole family, hang them from the rafters, and then just paraded naked around time. Yeah, my boy Jesus.
God. Yeah.
He came to me in a dream.
Well, and to be fair, God has been doing that for a while, because there's a lot of stories of him being like, hey, you got to go kill your son.
Yeah.
Or like something like that. And then like right before the guy does it, he's like, wait.
Psych.
No.
It's just
I was
prank,
kidding, dude. Are you serious? You were going to do it? Gross.
He's just playing chicken with these people, dude. Yeah. That's so funny. I just want to see how far you'd go, man.
Oh my God, crazy. You're gay? What?
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, in a video statement, though, the guy, his name is Eli, he admitted that the couple had squandered $1.3 million that was raised through cryptocurrency. The charges are that me and Caitlin pocketed $1.3 million. I just wanted to come out and say those charges are true.
Dude, how bad must have been that he couldn't even make up some bullshit? He's just like, they right, you know. You're right, it happened.
But he said a few $100,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord told us to do.
He said our foyer just wasn't good enough, you know.
He's like, look, the Lord really wanted Caitlin to have an open kitchen. Yeah. The God demanded it, okay?
And he said marble countertops, and we're not doing anything less than that.
We took God at his word and sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. I love how he's kind of like, he's like blaming it on God.
Literally, yeah.
He's like, being like, look, I'm just as surprised that it was a scam as you guys are. Because God, it was really God.
You're going to believe God, right? What are we going to say? No, God, I'm not going to start a new crypto coin.
But he added that the couple still believes that God will work a miracle in the financial sector. Dude, it is so funny.
I was just thinking that's the angle, is God works in mysterious ways, you know? This was all part of the plan.
Dude, it's really funny, I think. Well, first of all, I think that obviously the irony of like this pastor scamming all these people and being like, it was God's, God told me to do it, is hilarious. But I do think that like this, like God made a crypto scam is like low key, like kind of one of the best ideas that I've heard of.
Best version of that grift.
Yeah, because most of them are just like, they're like, yeah, we're going to make this online coin and it's gonna like protect you in case like the fucking Skynet falls or whatever.
I love the idea of God being like, listen, blockchain is the future.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that can save you now.
Well, or like God like coming to like this guy in a dream and being like, we're gonna make a lot of money.
We're gonna make a fuck ton of money, brother.
He's like, here's the deal. We're going to do a total rug pull. It's just like using all the language. He's like, we're going to do a total rug pull. These fucking fools are never going to know what hit him, dude. I got him eating out of the palm of my hand. He's like, they'll do anything I ask. I'm like God to these people. I'm like God to these people.
Oh my
so
God.
insane.
I think about that all the time. Like if I ever chose to pursue the grift.
Yeah,
dude,
what's your scam,
as
dude?
a light skin, well, I would do the Candace Owens,
dude.
I think
100%.
light skin Hispanic dude that was raised in a socialist
you could
country,
become
dude.
rich in a year.
Yeah, if that.
In a year, dude. It would be easy. I've talked to Dorian about this before. Where, like, you know, like, obviously, like, nobody would, like, you know, you'd never do that. Like, Dorian would never do that. But it's like, if he wanted to, like, you know, like, in you two, like, you guys both have the
demo, right?
You have the skills with speaking enough to, like, you know, because you don't even have to be, like, you don't have to, like, know what you're talking about at all. And you guys do.
Right.
So, like, that would just immediately, like, give you, like, more clout to these people.
Right. It's like, oh, it's these fancy words, man. They got 3 syllables, dude.
It'd be so easy, dude. What would be your, like, thing? You'd be like, socialism is bad.
Yeah, no, it'd be definitely socialism is bad. Fucking free market. Populism is huge. So that's why in a way, like, when Trump happened, a part of me was like, fuck, not just because of Trump, right? But, like, also because I lived through that shit over and over in Bolivia with, like, populist presidents, like, doing fucked up shit.
Yeah,
and I was like, I thought I moved to this country to get away from that.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. So, like, say a little bit more about that. I'm curious to hear, like, your experience with the populism specifically.
Right. So what's interesting about Bolivia is that, like, so about 2/3 of it of the population is indigenous, right? Mm-hmm. And about 2/3 of the country also at the time was illiterate. And when I was, I can't remember, it was 2005, we had Evo Morales become president, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning of, like, the big socialist regime, as they called it, right?
Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, he was, like, democratically elected, so it's not like he just took over.
Yeah.
But the reason why he took over was because, like, I think he dropped out of school in, like, the 3rd grade to become a coca leaf farmer. Mm-hmm. So these people saw, like, themselves in him.
They're like, this guy is just like us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's our boy, and then he would, like, do a lot of, like, activism and stuff like that, and then he gets elected. Mm-hmm. And, like, with every other person, the money fucking ruined him. Like,
yes.
He literally had a golden toilet like Trump in his, like, building and stuff. Yeah. And it was just fucking insane. And I remember after his first term, they're so slick. After his first term, he decided to redo the Constitution. So then he ran again, right?
Yeah.
And so then he got his 2nd term. And then after that term was done, he wanted to run again. But in Bolivia, you can't do more than 2 terms.
Yeah.
But his argument was like, well, it's a new constitution. So, that other one doesn't count. So we got to do it like this.
Basically like a second. It's like my first term under the new constitution.
Exactly. Literally, that was the thing. So then, which is all bullshit, right?
Right.
And that led to a huge, like, election, like, fucking year that we had. And it was a fucking nightmare. And all of those parallels, the claiming of, like, fraud and stuff. Because in Bolivia, there was proof of fraud, but there was also, like, at one point he was like, I'm gonna commit siege and you guys will starve to death and we'll see if you still want me as your president. It's like, dude, you're making it worse. What are you doing,
that's
dog?
Insane, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking
Jesus. And then you came here and you were like, oh.
Yeah, I came here and I was like, well, they got Obama. They seem to, and, like, I mean, and the truth is, dude, this is gonna sound super ignorant because it was, like, I legit thought, like, racism was fixed.
That's so funny.
You know, like, growing up in Bolivia, especially, like, when the whole, like, Obama first term was happening, I was like, okay, like, this is proof. And then you move here and then you're like, oh, shit.
Dude, I mean, like, because in 2008, I was in the 8th grade when Obama got elected the first time. And then in 2012, the second time he got elected was the first election I could vote in. And I voted for him the second time. But I know that, like, when I was a kid, I didn't understand, like, you know, the significance of, well, I understood the significance of having a black president, like, in terms of, like, this is the first black guy to be president.
For sure, yeah.
Of course, but, like, I didn't understand, like, the significance in terms of, like,
all the implications,
the backlash that was like was happening at that time, because, like, you know, I, like, my parents like were never, like, very especially when I was a kid, like, we talk a little bit more about it now, but, like, you know, especially when I was a kid, we didn't really talk like, you know, we just didn't talk about like politics that much and like that kind of thing. And so like, you know, my dad is a big history buff. Like I knew a lot about history and stuff, but like we didn't talk about like really like their political beliefs that much or like that kind of thing. Like I had an idea that they're, you know, like a little conservative and stuff like that, but I didn't, you know, it wasn't necessarily like a big part of like our lives or something, at least that I remember. And so it really wasn't until like later in my life when I became like more interested in those things, learning about like the level of racism that like was like how
deep it goes,
how much more like in the open it became after Obama got elected, like in some ways. Because, you know, dude, I like now you can like go back and like look at like the signs that people were like taking to these like, you know, like like protests or whatever, like depicting him as like, you know, like some like African shaman with like bones through his nose
or like
and stuff,
the Hussein and they'd give him like a turban and shit.
Yes,
like Hussein and stuff. It's just fucking
that he's like Muslim and stuff. The only thing that I remember ever hearing about that ever is I was at my friend's house.
Yeah.
And so he said something about like my mom thinks Obama is a secret Muslim or something is what he said. But we were like, it was like a situation where like, you know, we're like playing video games and it's like I don't know, maybe now like in hindsight, it's like this kid was like, you know, saying like some kind of like trauma
trying to share with his friends and be like, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I was like, I don't even know what that means. That's crazy.
They say, wait, they have secret ones too? That's cool. Just like planted around the world. That's nuts.
Well, dude, the funny thing about like, one thing that you hear conspiracy theorists talk about is the idea of crypto Jews is what you hear them referred to as like secret Jewish people, which is actually a thing. Like, and so this is like the fucked up part about like this kind of thing is like there are secret Jews everywhere, but crypto Jews were a thing in history back in the day, and it started, if I'm not mistaken, in Spain during the Inquisition.
Yeah,
because they were like, we're not allowed to be Jewish.
We gotta be fucking hidden.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Fucking be fake like Catholics, and so like that's where the term comes from. And now it's like the history is like so like just like gone, and like people don't like know about that like when they hear it, they're like,
I didn't know it was a
like
term. My
Jewish people
great grandmother
lying.
was a crypto Jew. Because she escaped Hungary during the Holocaust.
Yes.
And she went to Bolivia.
Yeah.
And to hide, she would lie and say that she was Catholic. And
yes.
So my dad actually found out, because I'm technically not Jewish since I get it from my dad.
Yeah.
But my dad gets it from his mom, who gets it from his mom, right?
Yeah.
So my dad found out when I was already like 12 or like 13 that we were actually Jewish. And it like broke his brain, because I guess part of the backstory is that my great grandmother claimed mild Nazi affiliations as a way to fucking like hide from everything, dude.
But
it
crazy.
Makes sense, because I remember growing up and like she was super not religious at all. Like clearly the Holocaust caused some fucking damage.
Yeah,
she was like fuck religion in general. So like my dad's side of the family was raised very not religious because of that. But I can't imagine. I always think like I don't think it was that bad, but I have this idea that maybe my dad was like, dude, I come from the Nazis, and then he finds out that he was actually a Jew, and he's like, wait, what?
That's
like, no, dude.
So funny. Yeah. It is. It's a term that's become like sort of been like co-opted to like mean something that it didn't originally mean. So like I feel like if you say like my grandma is a crypto Jew now to the wrong person, they'll be like, what the they'll be like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like whoa,
like, that's weird. But like originally like that term meant to like represent exactly what you're talking about, like people
hiding because they
who
had
were
to,
Jewish that came from a place that couldn't they weren't allowed to be Jewish.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think, dude, how much time do we did pretty good, actually. I think we're good to kind of wrap up.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
Fuck yeah.
Once I edit fucking part,
some fucking
but that
heavy
stupid
shit.
fucking 999 call.
Yeah, fuck the Independent. All the
fuck
homies
the
hate
Independent. I'm gonna kill you. But dude, where can people find you? Plug yourself.
On Instagram at just Carlos Chamon. Just is part of it, and TikTok at just Carlos Chamon, and
you make a little music too.
I do make some music as Carlos sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's the name too.
Yeah. And I'll put links to everything in the description of this podcast or whatever. Do you have any shows or anything coming up?
No, I mean, we do Don't Tell Comedy every Friday here in Kansas City, and
There.
come hang out. Yeah,
come to Don't Tell. They're fun shows. As always, you can find this podcast on social media at jakin.off.podcast. And you can send anything at all to jakin.off.podcast@gmail.com. I'll look at it at least once. And then the new caveat that I've added is if it's illegal, I might report you to the police. So
is that out of experience or is that
no? It's not out of experience. It's just like
preemptive.
Mitchell last episode is being like, you really shouldn't like look at everything, and I was like, well, dude, if it's illegal, I'll like if somebody sends me something like fucked up, I would tell the police.
Right, exactly.
Or something.
Yeah, you're
like,
not gonna be
if
like,
it was
oh,
like
this
some
is
like
mine
horrific
now.
crime. Like if you send me like a picture of weed, I'm not gonna tell the police.
Yeah, right.
Or something. But like you
Unless
guys
weed
know
is
what
the
I'm
name
talking
of a
about.
child
Yeah,
that you're sexually
yeah,
trafficking,
yeah. But other than that, that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow Carlos and follow the podcast. And I love you.
Bye.
I love you so much. Bye-bye.